Hello, Friday, January 20. Market had a crazy move and see what happened and give some educational lesson on it. I do this always myself too, so learn a lesson for know what to do for next time if something like similar happens. So let's start with the SPY at the beginning. As you can see here, it's a little bit of slow thinker swing. As always, this is 1 min, 5 min, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, and weekly. So, 4 hour before market opens on Friday was still downward. But the most interesting thing was that the 1 hour we got a golden cross the day before MACD, and market had a jump up on Thursday the day before. So it gives some signal that there is a possibility that market wants maybe to bounce back up, but it failed at close and we had a drop at the close. But still, the 1 hour stays yellow and upward. So going into Friday, you can see here before market opens, it was a yo-yo actions, but still the MACD was not dead crossed, and the 4 hour was no hope. It still was red until open. So what happened is at open, market opens. You can see here on the 15:30 market opens, boom, flash down. It went down. SPX touched 3900, and as soon as it touched it, you can see here in the first 5 minutes, the second candle, it gave a reversal. So in the first 30 minutes, we get a V recovery on indexes. SPY, QQ was a little bit. Let me actually remember that QQQ. Same thing in the first. Actually, QQQ gave an earlier recovery. So this one, SPY took 30 minutes for V recovery, but QQQ it took 15 minutes to give recovery. So that means what? The techs are stronger than other the tech stocks are stronger than other indexes. As you can see here, the 15 min got a golden, 5 min got a golden cross, and we start getting a blue bar. But it still was a yo-yo. You can see here it jumps, it fails, it jumps, it fails, it goes up and down. So this period was risky because it's still the day before the actions was yo-yo, and let me show you here the 15 min. The actions was yo-yo. If you can see here, the day before it went up, it came down, it went up, it came down. So there was a still risk of not having a solid direction. But we got the 5 minute golden cross and the 30 and 15 on Friday. They start showing blue bars, and the 1 hour was upward. But the only problem was the weekly, while daily and daily the problem was 4 hour, while daily and weekly was still upward, even though market had a big dump on Wednesday and Thursday. So anyhow, you can see here we got a blue bars on 15 and 30, and market was showing sign of signal of bullishness, and until we don't get a dead cross on 15 min means the bull run is not over. And we had an event at 1:30, 1:15, one of the Fed people talk. So always pay attention. Market established a range here, it came down. You can see here this, it makes the wedge, it came down, boom, it broke up. Before on the QQQ, you can see here, here it gave a dead cross, but right away, as soon as it gave a dead cross, again it gave a golden cross. So that means, okay, I want to stay bullish, and it gives a jump. So as soon as it gets the jumps, it goes from one level 278 to 279, and then from there the next target was 280. But at the same time, we got to go dead cross again, another dead cross at 12 o'clock on the QQQ, and so at 1:30 and 1:15, it as soon as he starts talking, we get a dump, and then you can see here also establish a range. It broke the range and it was about to dump and go down again. 15 minute even gave a dead cross, but as soon as that happened, right away it jumps up again and recover all this losses. And once it broke the top of the range, direction became a solid one because 5 minutes was a golden cross, and the 15 min from dead cross became a golden cross, and 30 and 1 hour was already bullish. So that means, these are confirming that I want to stay bullish. So from 280, boom, it jumps to 282. So this is just one example on QQQ. If I saved it here, no. Let me show you Apple. Apple, another example, and that you can see here 15 and 30 TTM squeeze was just bars on the rise, and it's all about the speed of the rise on the TTM squeeze. We never got a dead blue bar on the 30 min until close, and the 1 hour was bullish on the Apple since 1 o'clock when market starts jumping. So once market, even Apple was, dump and jump and recover, but it stayed in the range. But once it starts jumping here, everything joins just jumping. It was just non-stop run up. 5 minutes, you want to hold until you get a dead cross. You can see here, finally here we did a dead cross on Apple here. Another example, like another trick, it's really interesting, is you can use the same indicator and so same old setup on the options. So for example, I added Apple here, 137C call for expiration next week. You can see here that the 5 minute, it gave a golden cross here at 130. So the premium from 150 we went to almost 250, 254, when was the high of the day. So there's a lot of chances to grab once a 5 minutes golden. Once, and you want to pay attention to the indicators. Look at this indicator, because once you add a option to your watch list and use the same indicator on option, you're seeing the future sooner. Why? Because these are premiums. These are options. Is a derivative of the stock. It shows the movements earlier than the stock. So for example here, once the 5 min, you can look at here. Once the 5 min dead crosses, the premium drops from 150 to 130. So that's a kind of not so big, but it is a big. It could go lower. So at this point, you want to wait until, even if you had it, you want to lock it, because you don't know how far it can go down. But once you get another golden cross here at 130, you can grab it again. If you don't have it, if you held it, you can hold it longer, because you get a confirmation on the 5 min. And then look here at the 130. Let me bring 130 here. So you want to pay attention here. 130, you got a golden cross here. You want to wait until you get a dead cross on the 1 min. So once you get a dead cross on the 1 min, when was it? 2 o'clock. That was the high of the day. $2. And then if you miss it, you can wait for the next golden cross, which happened here, around here. You grab it. Next run was up here 250, but that was more riskier, because the 5 min was curving down a little bit on the 5 min. So Amazon, another example, that it passes 240. It made a drop at open, then it made a big recovery. So, and then after that, I posted 94.36, next level 95, past 95, next went to almost to the next level, which was 97.6. So you want to pay attention here that 15 min, it gave a dead cross. It was about to fall, but once all the market is when all the market is jumping, that is the direction. Direction means it's changing. All the names are gonna jump. So it jumps. It gives blue bar. You want to pay attention to the blue bar. A name moves the most when TTM squeeze have blue bar. So look at here. It's moved the most here that has blue bar. And then when the bar become almost the same size, it's either consolidation or in the range. And then you want to, once you get here, it's not like you don't want to, okay, let me sell it, it's gonna drop right away. No, two things can happen. Either it's gonna stay in a flat, in a tight range, or if it wants to drop, it will show you first dark blue bar, which it did, and it did dead cross on the 5 min. Market again here wanted to drop. Not drop, but slow down, and but it gave a dead cross. But you can see here, it didn't break the below the range, so it was still chance to hold it. It's what the way to say it is that once something is rising, it has two options that can happen. Either makes a tight range and then it jumps up again, or it makes a tight range and it falls back. But here it makes a range, but it never falls below the range or goes below the mid BB. You can see here that like the SMA 5 and 10, they never dead crossed here. So you want to pay attention to combination of the indicators. And so here it makes a range, and then again we got a boom, another jump here at 3 o'clock, for example, on Amazon. And if you look at let me show you on this one, 95, 98, for example. 98 indicators, you can see here 5 minutes got a golden cross. From $1 it went to 168. So that's something to keep in mind. Or Nvidia was a crazy one. That was a crazy move on Friday. If you see here in the morning, it was just in the range between 160. It was it was very bearish on the hourly and the 1 hour and everything on the day before. But if you notice here, before market opens at 5 o'clock, we got a golden cross on 1 hour. Once a 1 hour got a golden cross, that means maybe maybe could reverse, and it sure did. And we got a news of Amazon adding adding more locations for the AWS for their servers and blah blah blah. And then Bitcoin jumps at 11 o'clock. So all these help that it breaks the range. You can see here, suddenly it was a big sudden jump. That's really important. When a name suddenly gives a big jump, let me show you 11 o'clock, and I posted that in the service. um, you can see here a big candle jump following with three more candles and getting out of BB. That means, okay, this is some getting serious. And once it breaks the top of the range of the morning, boom, it was just a non-stop run. Just look at the 5 min. The 5 min never dead cross until here, okay, at 1 o'clock. So this point you want to say, okay, let me get out. It reached the target. The target was 174.68. Next one 168. Okay, I'll book my profit. And it could fall. 1 o'clock, 1:15. Fed is gonna talk. Maybe it falls, and it was good to profit. But you can see here again, it came down, but then it got a big jump. All market jumps. Nvidia joined, and it jumps and it break the top of the day, which was 175, and it gave a golden cross. While the 15 and 30 is already bullish, you can see here it gave a golden cross at 155. From then, it was just another jump up and run from 176 to 177, 178 almost, and then end of the day was just a range because it gave a dead cross here again. And what else? Baba was interesting too. At open, I posted in the service. This is gonna jump to 120 because it was a all-time high for like not all-time high. Like what I mean is like for last 6 months, this was a high of the last 6 months. It was getting to close. 117 was the high before, and it broke the high of that 118. It opened above. It gave us some jump. It gave some drop at open, but it almost got to 120. And the 15 right away at open got a golden cross, and 30 same thing. So these are really important. Biru same thing. Once it opens, you can see here, as soon as it opens, 5 min gave a golden cross, 15 and 30 gave a golden cross. 30 was already golden cross at blue bar before open. You can see here it was even before open, TTM squeeze was bullish plus hourly. So as soon as it opens, it jumps. The next level was 135. It got close to 137. Net Tesla was another interesting, not so much move because I played the next week. I don't play the same day option expiration. But you can see here it came below 128, then it pulled back up. It established range. Premiums weren't moving. But end of the day, when the 15 gave a dead golden cross and it broke the top of the range here, it jumps up. So if you look at the Tesla, let me bring Tesla. So this is the premium for, let me show you 145 actually. 145, look here. It broke top of the range. The premium moved from almost below 2 to 2.4 before close. And this has earning tomorrow. So it's safer to hold it and play bigger because it has earnings. So, it's premium is less volatile. What else? Name I wanted to show you. Google was very interesting. Google was just crazy. The day before everything was dropping, everything gapped down, but Google did not. And it was running up. So there was obviously a signal that some people know something and other people joined it. And it gave a 4-hour MACD golden cross before it even closed. That was the signal that this is going to gap up tomorrow. And boom, the news came that they want to they slash employees. But let's say okay, you missed the news, you didn't hold overnight, and now it's Friday, so market is opening. Market opens, you see here, establish a range, up and down, boom, it broke top of the range of the open, 95.73. Once it broke it, we get a 1 min golden cross, 5 min golden cross at 940, the 1 min golden cross at 936, 935. So you had 5 minutes to make a decision to grab a call to enjoy this non-stop run, at least until you get a dead cross on the 1 min. And you can see here it gave a dead golden cross here, so you could book your profit in less than 10-15 minutes. For example, just look at this Google, the Google 95, for example. Um, so Google 95, it opened in the 1 minute. If you look, it was in a range between 170 and 190. So between 175 and 2, let's say. It broke here at 2. From 2, it run all the way to 350. And keep in mind, Google is a very, very low volatile name. It didn't move that much. So when a name is very low volatile and is moving, it starts moving, the premium can go up very fast. So anyhow, you can see here premiums on the 1 min dead crosses at 955. That was a time you could book profit, or book half of it, and let's say what's gonna happen, what else is gonna happen, because you can see here the 5 min is still is signaling that it could jump up again. So in this situation, you can book some profit here progressively, what I always say, and then wait for the next golden cross. The next golden cross happens here around 1010, and it makes a bigger high. But then after that, if you notice, is that if you go here, Google, let me show you Google. If you notice here, it get close to the target 98.22, but it pulls back. So that's something that you say, okay, I mean, it's getting close to the target, it's pulling back, and it gave a dead cross on the 1 min on the chart of Google. So this is probably not gonna hit the target. Not always target's gonna hit this, the time you want. And 5 min gave a first dark blue bar and later on gave a dead cross, so the premium starts dying, stays in the range until we got that 115, 130 again news, and it jumps up. It got to the level 98.22. So even if you miss the morning run, later on you could have here at 130, once you get a golden cross at 135, go grab this Google 95 or 98, either one you interested. You could get like 98 because it already jumped in the morning. You could get this 98 here, 5 min golden cross here. What is it? So it's around 120, 12, and then end of the day you get almost 186, which was the target. And that this time it actually hit the target, 98, 98.22. It hit the target. So you, as soon as you hit the target, you could get out. Why? Because also because you have to keep in mind last time that's what happened, and its RSI is overbought. Or when RSI is overbought, you always have to keep in mind that anytime there could be a pullback. And the 1 min gave a dead cross, and boom, end of the day was just a consolidation. So that's for that one. What else names were interesting the other day? So BTC, you wanted to pay attention to it too. BTC, let me just bring it Friday. Okay, you can see here at 11 o'clock, it was just up and down. 4 hour was downward, 1 hour was already golden cross, but the 30 min BTC is started. It was already golden cross actually too. But what was interesting is that let me show you here at 11 o'clock. So it was up and down after market open here. Market open 9:30. So you can see here it was up and down. But at 11 o'clock, BTC jumps and took over the high of the morning. And then after that, we got another jump to the another range. These all had effect. Plus the Amazon news, these all had effect. The whole point is that what I want to say is that you want to add your position to your watch list and pay attention to it. For example, this QQQ was expiring same day. One smart guy in the morning, he grabbed it for 18 cents here. I think he got like 8,000 position. But just look at the chart. You can, even if you play same day expiration, this 15 min on this option never dead cross until close of the day. The 30 min, I mean. The 15 min, same thing. And the 5 min, look here. 5 min, it golden cross here. It golden cross here again. You got a jump. And then you got a dead cross. And then on 130, this was a solid golden cross without any dead cross until close. So you want to use your indicators on your option position too, so they can guide you what to do. So for example, what else I wanted to show you guys? SPY. For example, SPY. This is expiration. What day is expiration? 24, 23, 24. So this is expiration January 24, which is like let's say Wednesday. Okay, you can see here the 15, 30, 1 hour is all bullish. Yes, 4 hour is not bullish, but this is the premium that the 15, 30 and 1 hour is bullish. And as soon as you see the 5 min golden crosses, you can see here a golden cross here at 10 o'clock. It went from 87 until 157, 11:30. Okay, so even if you sell it after that cross, you sell it at 140. Okay, so next time you get a golden cross again, which was here, even if you buy it after golden cross at 170 and wait until you get a solid dead cross, which was at 340, you sold it at 293. So this is really key important that you never see it anywhere else. You don't hear this. I found out myself. You can use indicators on your position and the position you're playing, and it can guide you. For example, this Google, let me show you this Google one. This Google, the position 95C for this expiration January 27, it did dead cross on 12:30. So this was not something you want to hold or play longer because it did dead cross. Look, it went to 373 and it came down all the way to 250. Okay, that's a big drop. I mean, for a day trader. But once you get a confirmation on the 5 min again, that's the time you want to get in, and because this can run up again. And but still, Google end of the day was a risky play because if you look at it here, the 15 min, even though market was jumping after 1 o'clock, Google was not the strongest. Why? Because the 15 and 30 was already downward, and even though it jumps and premium went up, but it was already weakness in it because it already was high enough. 1 hour you can see here was curving, it was a little bit curving down, and before even the news, the 15 and 30 was already downward. So you want to pay attention to the names that has the strongest possibility, the name that is already it's bullish. 5 min and 15 and 30 is still showing you dark light blue bars, or in the when it's a reverse, when market is dropping, it still has big red bars. It's really important if the bars are rising up bigger, or the bars are just in the same size. You can see here, once the bars are rising up, then it's a run up. Once the bars are getting same size, means it's end of it. It can change direction anytime, because you see here, once the bar becomes same size, next thing you can have is dark blue bar. And once dark blue bar comes, it means pullback or drop or change of direction. Anyway, these are just key important stuff. You want to pay attention to it. Once you see a solid direction based on 15 and 30, you want to pay attention to the 1 and 5 min for entrance. And you want to pay attention once you get a dead cross on the 5 min, that's better solid direction. And you want to pay attention for entrance to the 1 min, because that gives you a perfect timing to go in. But nobody can ever get the best perfect entrance. I hope you have a great weekend, and see you guys tomorrow. Thank